Breaking news: a powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck offshore of Maasim Sarangani in the early morning hours of June 8, 2026, sending shockwaves across southern Mindanao, Philippines. 38 confirmed fatalities as of June 9th. Dozens are missing, 478 injured, and more than 18,000 families have been evacuated. Authorities reported tsunami waves of up to 1 meter reaching sections of the coastline, prompting residents in vulnerable areas to move to higher ground. General Santos City is among the hardest hit areas. The city is currently without electrical power, which is hampering rescue and relief operations. Local authorities have launched emergency response protocols, but communication challenges are slowing coordination efforts across affected areas. The earthquake's destructive force has left a trail of structural damage across multiple sectors. Initial assessments reveal 7 hospitals sustained structural damage, with some facilities operating at limited capacity. 5 shopping malls reported severe damage, including partial collapses and structural tilting. 5 schools were damaged, raising concerns about education disruption in the coming weeks. Numerous residential buildings and commercial establishments have suffered varying degrees of damage. The loss of power has compounded rescue efforts. Hospitals are operating on emergency backup generators, and emergency services are struggling to coordinate response operations across the region. The earthquake's impact extended beyond General Santos City to neighboring provinces. Sultan Kudarat authorities ordered the evacuation of more than 18,000 families from coastal communities following tsunami warnings. In Davao Occidental, the municipality of Jose Abad Santos reported heavy damage and experienced temporary communication blackouts. Residents of Coronadal in Sultan Kudarat witnessed the collapse of a 4-story apartment building. Rescue teams have been mobilized to search for potential survivors among the rubble. Recognizing the scale of the disaster, the Philippine national government has placed all response clusters on red alert. High-ranking officials, including the Department of National Defense and Department of Social Welfare and Development secretaries, have flown to the region to coordinate search, rescue, and relief operations. Authorities are establishing emergency command centers to coordinate search and rescue operations across all affected municipalities, establish emergency shelters for displaced families and evacuees, distribute humanitarian assistance and medical supplies, restore critical infrastructure and power supply, monitor seismic activity, and issue tsunami warnings as needed. The government has warned residents to prepare for aftershocks. Thousands of aftershocks are expected in the coming days. Seismologists caution that continued seismic activity may trigger additional structural damage and pose ongoing risks to rescue operations. As the region enters the critical first 72 hours of disaster response, the focus remains on locating missing persons, providing medical care to the injured, and establishing safe shelter for displaced families. The damaged infrastructure, particularly the loss of power and communication systems, presents significant challenges to coordination efforts. International humanitarian organizations have been notified and are preparing to offer assistance. The coming days will be critical in determining the final death toll and the full extent of the damage to the region's infrastructure and economy. This is a developing story. Information is being updated as new reports arrive from affected areas. For the latest updates and emergency assistance information, please consult official government channels and the Philippine News Agency. If you are in the affected areas and need emergency assistance, contact the DSWD hotline or local emergency services.